Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another wonderful podcast. And in today's podcast, I want to let everybody know we're going to be looking at some pretty interesting things, some pretty neat things that have come out this week. We have tons of news, tons of topics, as we've let it faster for the last couple of days. Sorry for the delay. And one of the topics actually has to deal with why this is being sent to YouTube right now. So, I hope everybody clicks in, has the ride of their life, because I'm hoping to take you all on a journey. So, our first topic today is actually that exactly 2 days ago, during our regular scheduled podcast hour, the Sony State of Play was happening. I did not actually watch it at that time, so we are actually going to let the footage roll through. I'll be having commentary through the time, where we have it set to 1.5 speed so we can get through it fast, because it's like 40-ish minutes, and I want to get through it fast, because I'm pretty sure if we need to, we'll jack up the speed a little bit faster, but I just want to get through it as fast as possible. Hopefully there's some PSVR news, because that just came out. Oh, perfect. Okay, so they're already showing right in the beginning stuff for PSVR. Assuming since it's just coming out that this is probably going to be the flagship thing that they're going to be showing most of.
Welcome to our first State of Play of 2023.
Yep. It is indeed their first one, so I'm excited to see what they actually are bringing forward. Okay, 5 games we're starting that are going to PSVR 2. This looks like a horror survival game. You have cards. Are you going mad through the game? What? Oh, okay. Okay, so it's a wave survival. It looks creepy. I enjoyed the minimalist style it has for its art. It's just trying to run great. You're going to get a lot of enemies thrown at you. It's going to be constant action. The Foglands. Okay, so I'm hoping that's more Cthulhu-based, like things going bump in the dark. That's what I'm hoping for. What? Are you smoking with the with the local tribe? What the hell? Okay, survival. Dreams from the makers of a couple of good games. Ooh. That's some fast-paced combat. Ooh. See, we're just slowly getting to the point where we're eventually just going to have headsets and we lay down and we'll just be doing it on our subconscious while we sleep. God, the moment that that becomes real, I've read so many manga of just things where the headset goes on, you fade into sleep, you're asleep, fuck it, you're going into the game now. There are so many things that I've seen like that I can't wait for humanity to reach that point where we can just like take the subconscious and place it in a different space. You know how great that would be? It would be such a good, you wouldn't be wasting time. It wouldn't feel like, that's the one barrier that I always think that humanity has, is that it feels like sleep is such a waste of time. I hope that we eventually have the technology where I can just like think, and while I'm sleeping, when I fade into my subconscious, I'm there but in the game, and I'm actually, this is my dream now. What the hell is this? Journey to Foundation. Interesting. Experience the universe of Isaac. What?
Your life. You're gonna show it to me. Just think back to the very beginning. First thing that you can remember. Every time you blink, you're going to jump forward in time.
Hey, you! Come over here. Is that really you? It's Chloe.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So I know that the PSVR has like eye trackers and they can tell where your eyes are. So they could probably tell if you blink. So that's going to be fantastic if to actually move on into the next bit of the scene you have to... Oh, God.
You're ashamed of something. Something so terrible. You're trying to blink right past it. Now, the next time that you blink...
God, the message that's going to be behind this game is going to be fantastic. I love the art style for it.
That was a
I want to pick one up just for that.
Up next, Bungie gives us a stunning new look at Destiny 2 Lightfall, which launches on
Ooh. We get to see some Lightfall.
What is that? The witness.
The malefactor of our first collapse is at our doorstep. You are nervous because you fear to see one. That fear is your failure. Vanguard to all units. Keep the enemy away from the traveler at all costs.
Ooh.
I understand what's at stake like they are. Not all of us have lives to spare. Your fear brings you pain. We know pain.
Ooh.
The battle begins here in the now.
See, I think my one main problem I have with Destiny is that all we want is Destiny 3, in which you can just access everything all at once. And you can go through the story, and you can go back, whatever you need to do. We've had time fuckery before. It just all feels like Bungie could have made a better game if they had built a better engine from the beginning to support all of the worlds and everything that they were trying to create. And I think that's my main problem with them as a whole, is that I want them to do better because they have such a larger vision in front of them. It's like they're getting in their own way. Do we get a Moana game? Maybe. Oh, it's got little Link survival. Oh yeah, this is the one where you can become... Yeah, you can become animals. This game looks adorable. March 21st. Cool. Not bad. How far have we gotten through? We're already 10 minutes through, and it's been... Oh, 10 minutes. Oh, well, I guess... I don't know when I started the thing. It could have been fast. I don't know. Okay, monthly games, Code Vein, and all of them. Extraction, okay.
Our next game is from Enhance, the creators of Tetris Effect and Resident Evil.
Tetris Effect. Fine, you were a dog. God, this game just... Wow, you're guiding people? It's actually pretty spectacular for a puzzle game. It looks like a roller coaster tycoon. What the hell? Are you starting out all out wars? Ooh. Oh. Humanity. That game looks fantastic.
So, big day. Class preference speech in the second week. In light of the whole space rock potential demise of civilization thing,
What's the theme?
you think this year to make an impact?
You know,
You okay? This year kind of
it looks like a fun rhythm game, but it's not in my tastes.
it is to you.
QuickTime events, design posters. Okay. I just think it could have been regular people, man.
You wanted to do, and that's fine.
But whoever wants to play this game, you do you. I'm not gonna judge. Goodbye, Volcano High. Has an adorable name as well. Oh, baby.
Not gonna lose, you hear me?
Now I'll just cut you off completely.
I'll inherit my master's will.
No matter what you become, I will always love you.
The Hokage is the person who walks in front of everyone and bears all the pain.
Damn.
Because we're friends.
Oh, thank God. I was hoping that they were going to make this at the end of this. I was hoping at the end, because honestly, if you do not want to go through the painstaking territory of watching through all of Naruto, the games are the most fantastic way I could tell people to just experience the story and get a near same effect. There are some points in the series, like I wish somebody out there had made a clip show in between while you're playing the games, and you like watch each of the clips and you get like the bits of story that you need to get, and it continues on. Ooh. Ooh. Coming 2023. I hope it comes in an actual like disc package, because god damn, you cannot buy the Naruto Shippuden like Ninja Storm Ultimate Pack for anywhere under like $150 for PlayStation. It sucks. What game is this? Baldur's Gate 3. It's Baldur's Gate 3. God, it looks beautiful. I still haven't played it, and I want to. Character creation is still fantastic. I like their entire setup. I like the map design. It's not too... It's a thing you gotta worry about in today's day and age, that the UI will take up too much of the space and cause a bunch of clutter. You know how it is. But I'm so happy that the PS5 is getting it. I realized I should have paused the tavern music.
You and your friends. It's all saying that a gorgeous
What?
uncontrolled chaos wayfinders. Meet Section, who likes to get up close and personal. And Silence, who likes firepower and fast reflexes.
Okay, you have abilities. This looks like Dragon Age.
With another victory under our belts, let's hit the skylight. Your social hub. Here, you'll turn your loot
I don't know what this is. I'm confused.
zones. You can modify and mutate your
Its setup looked a little bit like Dragon Age with its abilities and everything.
bosses like this Titan.
We all just want a better Dragon Age experience. If somebody told me that they were going back and remaking Dragon Age 1, 2, and Inquisition, I would hope that they would change a lot about a couple of those games.
Capcom games, starting with the debut of 3 new characters for Street Fighter 6.
Ooh, new characters. Bam. Let's see who we got. Oh, yes. Zangief. He's back. We see him in all of his grappling glory. Look at him. Look at him go. Oh. Look at that. Look at him. Look at him go. I love Zangief. He's such a cool character. Best grappler. No, I don't have the credentials to back up that. I need to play more fighting games before I start speaking stuff like that.
I call upon you, Earth Wind. Torno Ikomo, spirit of the wind.
Okay.
Let yourself become one with it.
Lily. Sometimes they just design ridiculous characters. I do love how they're... I am so happy they've taken so long to make Street Fighter 6. That's the one thing that I'm extremely happy about, is how long they've actually been trying to probably develop it. Ooh. And Cammy. God, they're ridiculous. Damn. Woo. Damn. God, it looks so good. June 2nd. It's right around the corner. Fuck. All right. It's been about 10 minutes since we started.
Temperance, child. I'm taking delivery, preparing some entertainment for you.
And I think it was... Okay, I think we're going faster.
The gallant knight protects the princess Faye.
It looks good, though.
It's always like this with you. How about you open fire instead of your mouth?
Long time no see.
Major Krauser? Why?
You can't save her. You can't save anyone.
What's gonna happen to me?
Don't you diss my boy? He's a hardened veteran in this point.
Let us rescue the princess Dulcinea. She hurt herself. This is kind of fun.
Oh my god. Railway anything are so ridiculous. The thought of that you would just be perfectly riding the rails, jumping from rail to rail, and not immediately fuck up and die. Those are the definitions of fuck around and find out. Oh god, it looks so good. March 24th. God, we got to start getting through the Resident Evil series as well. Damn. Fuck.
Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark, and Captain Boomerang against the world's greatest DC superheroes in this extended look at Suicide Squad. Kill the
Yeah, the extended look of a bad cut, a bad take.
Hi everyone, my name's Aaron Darian, and I'm the studio product director at Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, next installment in the Arkhamverse, and will be releasing this May. It is a third-person action shooter set 5 years after the events of Batman Arkham Knight.
Come on. I know what they already did. It's online. It's pay-to-win bullshit. A bunch of regular, just stupid decisions.
Very excited to share more about the state of play. Today, let's take a brief look at one of the missions in our game. The Flash has been corrupted by Brainiac, and as the Suicide Squad,
Come on.
work together in a 4-player online co-op to stop the Flash and rescue Lex Luthor in the process. Enjoy.
Come on.
Oh, you know what? Hold on a sec. Hello, Brainiac. Is it happening now? Great. You will have to do ASAP. Good news! You want Luther, all you have to do is come in.
Damn.
Where the snowball? Time to light them all up.
Incoming Harley! Out of my way.
Okay. I should be able to throw boomerangs. Oh, yeah. Satisfying boomerang combat. Okay. Shoot weak points, obviously. Is it just instant kills? God, that's beautiful. I just love how he has an aimbot. Well, of course he would. Swap between team members. You know, besides the fact that it's like an always online game, it does actually look pretty fun. Who wouldn't want to be the Suicide Squad? So ridiculous. But he's fucked up.
So, how'd the whole taking down the Flash thing go?
Still in play? Now get out of my way. I have work to do.
Well, hey there, sleepyhead. We got an interrogation to get back to. You think I'm just gonna let you walk away and tell these guys everything you know? You think they can stop us? Pathetic.
Pathetic! At least I'm not a big hero turned stooge for a spaceman.
Okay. You wanna see what a real hero can do? I'll show you.
Flash, please, tell me how.
You have to kill us, Diana. We have to die. To save the world.
Ooh. Ooh. And it's not like any of them have ever come back to life before. No.
May 26th. Rocksteady Studios has more to share today. Let's listen in.
I don't want to listen in.
Show me what you got.
Suicide Squad Justice League is an extension of the Arkhamverse, and it's really about reframing the story and telling it from the villain's point of view.
Where are we going? And who are we killing?
It's a mixture of lots of the things I hope the fans like about Rocksteady, but like a whole massive chunk of new stuff that they've never seen before.
We've always seen Batman's perspective on this world, and we thought it'd be really fun and enjoyable to see this universe through the eyes of the villains. We're picking up the story 5 years after the end of Arkham Knight, and a lot's changed in that time.
Just checking. We're all seeing that thing, right?
Brainiac has invaded Earth, and he's this huge threat overlooking Metropolis. He's taken over Metropolis City, the Justice League.
My God.
Saved the city, but Brainiac has captured and brainwashed them to turn them against the very people they've been sworn to protect.
Oh, fucking Superman!
So Justice League share the same goal as Brainiac, to take over Earth and turn it into the new Kalu. What we've created is a classic Justice League, but with the sense that there's something wrong with them.
They are now doing Brainiac's bidding, and Amanda Waller scrambles to try to remedy this and essentially save the Earth. And she recruits 4 lovable characters into fighting the Justice League in an effort to reclaim the Earth and thwart Brainiac's plans.
Your new mission is to kill the Justice League.
Members of the Suicide Squad are Harley Quinn,
Fair.
Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, and King Shark.
Harley Quinn is definitely the most acrobatic of the crew. She's always moving, she's always flying through the air in kind of barely controlled ways. The feeling of swinging, the momentum, and the kind of physicality of it, and trying to keep that momentum going and use that to go over buildings or swing under bridges and chain that into kind of the grapple mechanic that she does as well. It just feels spot on.
I'm a freaking superstar.
Deadshot has the iconic Deadshot look, but with a Rocksteady twist. He's got a real swagger to him,
And in this game, he can also hover with his jetpack. It's super precise. He uses sniper rifles, assault rifles, and pistols, and they all fit with his sort of fantasy of playing a Deadshot as this master assassin.
But you want Team Waller or Team Get the Hell Out of This Mess?
King Shark to me as a person is, well, he's a fish, is this incredible character who's super well read and super well to do, and I'm sure could smash an aggressive performance.
Actually, I'm the son of a god. It's my shame to suffer more than foolery.
But also doesn't really know simple words or simple things that are going on. I think that's brilliant.
In terms of combat, yeah.
See, I like that a lot better. I don't like to think of him as an idiot. I like to think that he's actually well versed in everything, but the fact that he just doesn't know current culture is funnier.
Along the walls, along the floor, and get wherever he wants to go.
You can use that to get up close, dodge around in midair, taking out the enemies, and then scarper because he doesn't want that stick around.
Don't worry, guys, I'm here. One of the most exciting parts that connects our game to the DC lore are the support squad.
It's all Widow. You have Penguin, Arm Stealer,
You're making that
but also some new faces. Hack, who is a digital ghost that is helping the squad both navigate the world but also upgrade their neck bombs.
That's a big adrenaline spike and a nice bomb sending out.
Toyman, who's helping the squad with perfecting gear. And then finally we have Gizmo, who is helping the squad with insane vehicle creations that let you blow shit up.
God, I haven't seen Gizmo in so long. I always just remember him as the wonderful little twerp in goddamn Teen Titans. I always forget that the Teen Titans is like a DC thing.
You're getting to see Metropolis through the villain's eyes. You're getting to experience this world and traverse through this world as the villains. So the core ability that everything wraps around in Suicide Squad is your traversal. How that works with combat is you're chaining your combat moves together with those traversal moves, and the combat encounters are all designed to push and pull you around the environment in a battlefield that's constantly changing, working out how to use all your different weapons, your guns, your melee attacks, and control the chaos and come out victorious.
Yeah.
What's awesome about gunplay is the variety. So there's 6 core types of weapon families. We've got assault rifles, SMGs, sniper rifles, shotguns, miniguns, and pistols. There's added variety from weapon manufacturers.
There's Lex Squad weapons, there's GCB weapons, there's armor tech weapons. And later on in the game, we also have gear sets. The gear sets are villain themed. For example, if you have a Bane gear set and you trigger his buffs in the game, some of it will have the Bane drums, and you go Bane and like boom, 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 and then there's like green smoke and you trigger all kinds of effects. So you're basically taking the essence of the villain, you're bringing it into the game.
Each character has a power level in the game that we call gear score. As you acquire new gear in the game, your gear score goes up. And as that number goes up, it means that you can take on much harder missions. As part of this progression journey, you will unlock more and more builds, more and more ways to customize your character to really fit the way you want to play.
Every firearm in our game is upgradable. So in Suicide Squad Killer Justice League, you're gonna get lots of choice to use the weapons that you
Okay, so this is basically just like Fallout mixed with Gearbox. Okay. Oh my god.
Our game is a 1 to 4 player co-op experience, which means that all the missions in the game have been designed to support solo play, playing with a friend, 2 friends, or 3 friends. For the single player fans, you can play it in single player with bots filling in the role of the squad so you still feel like you're part of the team, and you can switch them if you want. And try King Shark now.
Yeah, just an always online experience sucks ass, and I'm just surprised that they went with this. They might patch it out later just due to the backlash that they've received from it, so I don't know, but I think they'll probably just try to patch it out so you can have like a purely solo experience, or you can have probably like a LAN experience. I would expect them to add on later, because that's truly something that everybody likes to do, is just LAN.
There's just going to be so much for the players to enjoy.
Ah, yes, a battle pass.
If you like story games, if you like RPG games, if you like co-op games, if you like customizing your character, if you want to play as a badass,
All right. In total, I don't know. After everything that I've seen from this state of play and everything, I don't know how I feel necessarily about it. Some of the games that are coming to VR are extremely cool. There's some really nice indie games that are coming out as well. And as far as the news with the Justice League, with just the Suicide Squad and it always being an online experience, I'm expecting that they'll probably, if they don't roll it back, it's kind of a shame. That probably is going to limit a lot of people from getting it. But if they do add an actual just purely solo, doesn't require the online. My only problem ever with only online games is that it always limits you later on. Say everybody goes to play it down the road, but the servers are down. Everything's gone. What are you going to do? You basically just bought a game that just can't be used after a certain point. It kind of sucks, and that's a problem that we constantly face now in the digital age, is that the more you try to digitize the collection that you have, the more likely is later on you're going to be screwed or shafted in some way when you try to access that content later. It took me several different solutions to actually find a workaround to get Assassin's Creed 1 working on my computer so I can eventually stream the Assassin's Creed series. A series that I love that has also been ruined by its studio. So it's just like, don't ruin your game by trying to limit it to only online. Give people a backdoor, give them needs. Perfectly acceptable for a battle pass to be a thing, but allow people to buy it later on, complete it whenever. That is literally the only thing I can suggest. That is the one thing I've suggested since the beginning for Fortnite, is that you should be able to buy everything from the Season 1 to the Season 4 Chapter 1 Battle Pass. You should be able to buy each of those at maybe a discounted rate. Who knows? I would just, even the full price. Fuck it. There's a skin I want in Season 2. Go back and get it. I think that would be fantastic, because a lot of your time in Fortnite after a certain point feels like you're spent just over leveling, and I feel like the time could be used for something else in the game. Like, you could make your way towards it. Who knows? It's just my thoughts on the subject. So we have a ton of topics, actually, as you can see, from spanning all the way across. So let's get right into the next one, in which TikTok creativity program asks creators for videos longer than 1 minute. So this is in a way to combat the things that are going on with YouTube Shorts. Comparatively, I don't know how much better people are getting paid for shorts. I'm pretty sure it's actually a pretty decent amount. And this is going to be a solution that TikTok is bringing out for people to create longer content that will allow them to make a bit more profit off of it. Understandable so, because TikTok is a large thing where you can have millions of followers on it depending on the content you release. And if you were just consistently uploading more things to it, you could bring more dollars and everything into their pocket. So they will pay you for longer. They're just basically trying to shift over to a YouTube model as well. TikTok isn't going to go away. No social media ever actually goes away. And it's something that we all see. Like, Facebook still exists, MySpace still exists. It doesn't matter how many users there are on it, it still exists and people still use it. Like, Reddit's the biggest thing. It just is. You can find any solution to anything on Reddit, usually, and if you can't, you can find people on there who can help you find it. It's such a widespread network, and most of the solutions that I go for in just reality, I'll search through Reddit or something, because I'm more likely to get an answer there than anywhere else. So, cool, TikTok's doing this. It doesn't matter. YouTube is still going to be the top of the game. And we actually have some news about YouTube later. Meta Verified is a paid verification service for Facebook and Instagram. Twitter Blue became a thing. Everybody's going to come out of the woodwork and do it. That's just how it's going to be. And the fact that I want to pay that much money to be verified and have free stars on Facebook and Instagram. Why would I care? I don't give a shit about Facebook. Out of everything, the one thing I would love to do, actually, is, because I don't know if I would have the bandwidth to, if I ever get fiber, I would love to actually stream across all the platforms. Right now it's only YouTube and Twitch right now, but I do have the capacity. I could probably have the capacity to also do Facebook, which would be really funny to just stream to Facebook. My only problem is a whole lot of my family is on Facebook, and if any of them found it, I would probably eventually dox myself. Eventually, one of my family members would dox me. I just know they would. Let's see. Did the UK government just accidentally leak Nintendo Switch's successor? As the Nintendo Switch approaches the 6th anniversary of its launch, Nintendo has been extremely coy about the prospects for a true successor to the console. No, the Switch OLED doesn't count. It does not. It just has a better screen. That is it. It is the only difference. That doesn't count. There's no performance upgrades, nothing. Lying to yourself if you're thinking otherwise. This week, though, a stray redaction in the government document regarding the proposed Microsoft/Activision merger has some industry watchers speculating that the announcement of a Switch successor could be coming in the near future. They always say this. It is going to come eventually, no matter what. We're just waiting for it. That is the only thing we are waiting for. They have teased and leaked several times that they're trying to get this thing off and going. An actual, like, Switch Pro. How they're going to do it, I don't know. But they're going to do it. They're going to make a better version. My entire point is can they do better right now compared to the other people doing things? Will they do better than the Stream Deck? If they don't do better than the Stream Deck, that means they suck. But that also means that their next console could be a little bit more pricey. If I had to guess, if a price for a Switch Pro, if they did nothing else besides the bare minimum, $350. If they did everything, that would probably be a $450 console. Probably $450, I would guess. I would say that they could put in quite a bit of effort. And you're wondering to yourself, would we pay that much? If it's portable, if it's designed like the Stream Deck, but it has the Switch capacity to it, it'd probably run fantastic. It'd probably run everything else fantastic on it. Everybody would jailbreak it, and we'd probably have better emulators for Nintendo games. I just don't know what they're going to do. Because the Steam Deck, the other companies out there that do similar things, I can't think of their names right now. Here, hold on. Switch replacements. Steam Deck. There's other console makers. Let's see, who makes devices like the Steam Deck? That's not. Yes. Iron Neo does. Yeah, the Switch, blah. Onex, I haven't heard of them. GPD does a good one. But yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like, tomorrow, Sony comes out. Guys, we're just making a new Vita. What are you going to do? Sony's going to put the effort into it. They're going to make sure that it's high priority. It can do the games that we want it to do. And they're probably going to make it so it plays classic games and everything through your actual stuff. So what are you going to do? You're going to get the Nintendo Vita, the new fucking Sony Vita. You're going to do it. It's going to happen. Like, it's just... It baffles me that Nintendo has been sitting on their asses so long because, sure, they've made so much money. They said they could coast for the next 40 years. Say they do that. Their reputation at the end of the 40 years where they're coasting is going to be so dog shit. Eventually, they're going to have to be like, guys, we still make games. No, you don't. Nintendo knows how to play the game, and they try to play it well, but sometimes they play their own hand. Like Silk Song. Nintendo wasn't involved in this, but I'm just gonna say this. The creators of Hollow Knight made so much game that they had to make a second game with how much game they were making. They did the exact same thing for Legends of Zelda. The new Breath of the Wild, the second one, is just, they did too much for the first one. We're releasing it in the second one. We all know it. It's, if we look in our hearts, it's true. So I just don't... I just want Nintendo to do better. That's all I can ask for any game company, any game devs out there. I can hope that they treat their company well, and that they're treating their employees well, and that they're not trying to force people to come back to the office just for stupid reasons because they can't hold their power over those people. It's absolutely ridiculous, all the things that go on in all workforces. But I like the crazy that goes on in gaming things because it needs to change. Speaking of change, assholes. Activision confirms data breach exposing employee and game info. Activision has confirmed that it suffered a data breach in early December 2022 after hackers gained access to the company's internal systems by tricking an employee with an SMS phishing text. The video game maker says that the incident has not compromised game source code or player details. On December 4th, 2022, our information security team swiftly addressed an SMS phishing attempt and quickly resolved it. Following a thorough investigation, we determined that no sensitive employee data, game code, or player data was accessed. A company spokesperson told Bleeping Computer. However, security research group BX Underground says that the threat exfiltrated sensitive workplace documents along with the content release schedule under November 17th, 2023. Screenshots shared by the researchers showed that the hackers had gained access to the Slack account of an Activision employee on December 2nd and tried to trick other employees into clicking malicious links. So if I remember correctly, they said that no sensitive data had leaked. And then somebody immediately came out and posted the numbers of, like, people. About, like, money and about how much is being made from individual people. People were mad. I think it's funny because Activision is trying so hard to get acquired by Xbox, and Xbox is also sabotaging themselves because I think both of them have put themselves into positions in which I think both of them think that they're going to be the moneymaker for each other. Like, both of them are going to turn their lives around because Xbox coming out and saying that the Game Pass doesn't do what it's supposed to do and that it's a failure is hilarious. It means they're trying to devalue their company so the deal can go through because everybody is just trying to get rich in the bottom line here. Bobby Kotick still works for Blizzard. That's the shittiest thing I've ever heard because he's the entire problem. And Blizzard is trying to force people to come back to the office and everybody's like, but we've been working from home. Why would we want to come back to the office? So they've had mass exodus of employees and now they can't hire anybody because everybody knows that your employees are giant pieces of shit. It's fantastic. All I'm saying is at the end of the line, you're renting a $1 million building and they're like, oh my god, we have these leases and we need people back in the building so we can make money off of things and blah 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 blah, so we can justify these costs and everything. But you know what, nobody wants to go back home, or nobody wants to leave home. Though I will say, give both options. Because I know some people have a hectic life at home. They have kids, they have whatever. They need that escape. I understand. Give them a smaller office building for the people who do. But just like take tally. Who wants to work from home? Who wants to work at the office? Get a roundup. Don't demand people start coming back. Nobody likes it. You need to give options to your employees. And for some reason, in the gaming world, employees do not like to give their employees options. Well, I guess in all employment, employees don't like to give their employers options, which sucks for everybody. But I just, they're doing so bad. There's other stuff later on when we get to it. We'll just, yeah. YouTube adds ability to dub content into other languages after Mr. Beast test drive. That is great. So, For everybody who doesn't know, Mr. Beast runs a second channel that was called Mr. Beast en Espanol, which is just all of his content transferred over into Spanish, and they had people working on it to subtitle it and everything. And the problem with YouTube is that it doesn't allow you to change the audio. On every video, you can't just change the audio between English and Espanol. Linus is doing a similar thing right now. He's transferring his content into Spanish, and it's great that now it can be placed on the original content and you don't have to make an entire separate channel for that. Fantastic. Woo. Love that. It also means that it'll probably delay production of videos for a hair, only because they will want to transfer it over into Spanish as well and probably release them at a similar time, or at least like a day delay. I don't know. It's kind of unfair to make other people suffer but I guess they would understand that, like, we're taking a little bit of extra time. I would just try to release the content on the same day, so like the English and the Spanish content would come out immediately. But I like that they're doing this. I like that YouTube is finally streamlining some of the stuff that needs to be streamlined, such as this. This is such a good feature. If you can do different actual captions, then why can't you do different audio? It is a genuine wonder why this hadn't been added, because it seems like it should have been a standard feature for YouTube. Create a podcast. Here's my problem. I do a weekly podcast. Whether it's been seen by everybody on YouTube or it is not. And hello everybody on Twitch who actually does see this. We have an interesting dilemma, is that I was going to make an actual podcast channel for it and design it all nice and everything, but now you can just add a section. They are making it so you can add in podcasts and everything, which this will be the one. I'm going to add all the other Tales from the Endtable in. We're going to make a podcast channel or thing. We can name it. It'll be perfect. Yes. And all that content will be just straight here on Fully. That's what we're dealing with. It's fantastic. I love it. We can name them separate things. It's perfect. Yeah, there'll probably be two podcasts. One will be the round table, and the other will be the end table, which we're doing right now. And then there'll be a Tales from the DM table, and I think that will be it for now. But those will be the main ones, and they'll get recorded and thrown up every once in a while, and you guys can just enjoy that content. Little podcast, listen to whatever I banter me and my friends or whoever, if it's just me, are getting into. But yeah, this is the reason why I'm so happy they made it so it's integrated with YouTube Music as well, so you don't have to like upload in two separate locations, which is fantastic, honestly. And I'm going to start putting the podcasts up on Spotify as well, so everybody can look forward to that, because I'll be making a profile and we'll be dealing with that as well. But yes, let's see, next bit. Oh yeah, Google is bringing podcasts to YouTube Music, so if you make one on YouTube, it just, yeah. In an announcement, Google also says rolling out new podcast creation tools in YouTube Studio. Content creators will be able to easily turn their videos into podcasts, create podcast playlists, and opt in to have their podcast available in the YouTube Music app, which I guess, why wouldn't I just automatically want it in there? But neither here nor there. I'll also see about getting our podcast on Apple Music as well. I'm going to try to upload to as many platforms as possible. I'm trying to get us out there, boys. That's what I'm trying to do. All right. So with that, next, more reason to love Google Photos. Today, Google Photos creative tools like Magic Eraser, HDR Effect, and more will start rolling out on Android and iOS for Google One subscribers. Yes. So Google had the Magic Eraser, which would delete people and things in the background and just replace them. And it would be as if things were never there. for the most part. Like, you could still, yeah, you still see it kind of, but it's better. Like, if you're not looking for it, if you didn't know, you would be fine. But you can still see, like, yeah, shapes and stuff, which is fine. I'm just saying that it's still noticeable, but not really. But I'm happy that they're releasing this for Google, Pixel phones and Google One members on Android. Google One members get free shipping on print store orders. I don't know how I feel about... Well, I get it, that's for Google One members. What is Google One? It's $2 a month. I'm paying $24 a year for this stuff. Make your shots stand out. Cool, I guess. I just wish more, like, subscriptions were linked together. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of them, it's too hectic. We pay too much. All right, out with the Google news. Humble Bundle. If you love Humble Bundle, which I do, even when they were bought out, they always do good deals, and we've been talking so much about Pathfinder and various D&D stuff. So I get to tell you happily that with this one, you can get 28 books from Pathfinder from Paizo for $25. If you want to donate more, donate more. If not, $25. And there's different bundle milestones so you can get less. But it comes with everything you need to start getting into Pathfinder and stuff in nice digital files. I'm just saying it. If you want to look into it, it looks fantastic. I need to start probably including links for stuff whenever I am doing stuff like this into the actual thing, so people can look and go in the future to click on them and look at the products themselves if they're interested in them. So, though this will expire by March 2nd, so you'll have to be quick. The D&D movie has already inspired a full overhaul. Here, actually, let's kick back on the music. Cool. The D&D movie has inspired a full... Actually, it is too soft. Cool. The D&D movie has inspired a full overhaul of one D&D class. When the original trailer for Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves arrived in July 2022, fans were pleasantly surprised at how joyful it seemed, especially the sequence where one of the characters shapeshifted into a wild, feathered monstrosity called an owlbear to kick some ass. Rules lawyers cried foul. However, since 5th edition D&D, as written, would never allow that particular transformation, now a new set of official playtest materials aims to retcon that continuity issue, and it's doing it in the most player-focused way possible. One D&D is working name for the next iteration of Dungeons & Dragons. Still haven't... I gotta get into the playtest for it, still. We'll have that for next time. Next time we do a Tales from the DM. For the last several months, developers of Wizards of the Coast have been publicly placing new rules to see how they perform. These playtest materials are called Unearthed Arcana, and a new set dropped on Thursday. Insides are proposed early playtest changes for the Druid class and its massive rework of existing systems. Why is Wizards proposing this change to the Druid class? The answer is simple, says the lead rules designer Jeremy Crawford. The Druid is currently the least played class in D&D. Fair. And Wizards is obligated to do something about that. Recently, designers drilled down into the 2014 text published in the Player's Handbook and determined the Druid's mechanical flaw. Since Druids can use their wild shape power to change into any beast with a challenge rating of 1 or lower, that means their options are spread across many, many different books, including obscure titles like Acquisitions Incorporated. Instead of sending would-be druids to the library every time they want to cast Wild Shape, which Crawford calls an iconic part of the Wonder Druid class, there's simplified things. New playtest materials offer the druid 3 stat blocks to choose from: Animal to Land, Animal to Sea, Animal to Sky. Now, instead of taking one of the stats of the animal they want to transform into, druids simply pick one of the 3 stat blocks and use the listed defense stats and offensive abilities. But in this paradigm, it's up to the druids to choose what they look like. So you can look like an owl bear, just like Sophia Lily's character absolutely said, Crawford, in you would let's look it over. So one's plus your wisdom standard. You have additional climbing speeds and various other stuff. Dark vision. Okay, it's spread about. Flyby. Okay, I see what they're doing. I think it might be a little bit simpler, because that is something that you usually have to worry. Because some people in D&D don't like to abuse the druid class like others do, because if you become a certain thing after a certain point, your stats just become absolutely ridiculous. So it's like, some people don't like to abuse that, and this will be definitely a better solution in which you are transforming into things and you get to sort of choose. You can change. It allows you to choose the animal you are for the situation, which is a little bit better. You're not just defaulting to like set choices. I like it. I like it as a choice. It allows for you to have more freedom. Yeah. You get to choose what sort of thing you're transforming into. Yeah. I like it. Does your small creature, say an opossum or a squirrel, have the same stat block as a large one? At the moment, yes. Yes, it does. But this is a playtest, gang, and if that drives you up the wall, then you're encouraged to leave some feedback beginning. Yeah, there's obviously going to be problems with it. It's honestly not perfect, but I like the direction that they're going and giving you more freedom to just transform into something, because you're a druid. You're connected with nature. You've seen creature before. You can visualize it. If you can visualize the detail. Like, I would love to have a druid that's good at painting and has like a sketchbook that has different creatures in it that I've seen before, that I've sketched later on, and then I look at them for reference when I want to take into something. I think that would be fantastic. I like the way that they're dealing with it. I'm excited to see where this goes. Yes, I'm excited. Let's see. Shinji Mikami departs Bethesda's Tango Gameworks. Oh my god. Everybody could have saw this coming. Resident Evil creator oversaw 3 horror games for Bethesda in the past decade. So, Shinji Mikami, the celebrated video game director whose work spans the first Resident Evil to 2014's The Evil Within, is leaving the studio he founded, Tango Gameworks, and its parent company, Bethesda Softworks, confirms Mikami's departure in a message Thursday morning. We can confirm that Shinji Mikami has decided to leave Tango Games in the coming months. We thank him for his work as the creative leader and supportive mentor to young developers of the Evil Within franchise, Ghostwire Tokyo, and of course, Hi-Fi Rush. Bethesda said in a statement post to Twitter, "We wish Mikami-san well in the future and are excited by what lies ahead for the talented developers at Tango." Mikami himself has made no public statement on his departure. I wonder if he has now. Hold on. Let's see if this man has made any statements. There's an update? What's the update? Update, here's the official message. We confirm decided to, yeah, blah, blah, blah. All right, 2 days ago, is there any additional? God, this man has been in charge of some of the gaming's finest. Blah, blah, blah. elevated the lesser known with Tango Gameworks. Mikami said he wanted to create a place for young creators to challenge themselves, pointing to the many talented creators in Japan that don't have access to the same opportunities. This is the man who used his power to elevate the obscure and unknown, something you don't see too often. He is just a fantastic creator of games, and honestly, it was kind of shitty what they did to him at Bethesda and everything, because he's sort of just... He's the creator of Resident Evil. He's the creator of Resident Evil 2, creator of Resident Evil 3. Helped with the developments and the production of stuff, and he inevitably led to the creation of Devil May Cry when they were working on one of the versions of Resident Evil. But like, him going to Bethesda, creating Tango Gameworks and everything, he was expecting to go and make whatever he wanted, and then they sort of just were like, no, we want you to make a Resident Evil, so he had to make Evil Within. And he created the team to help make the Evil Within 2, blah. He didn't really help with the development of it. And then made Ghostwire Tokyo because he wanted to really establish fears in people again. And then he made Hi-Fi Rush, which was just fantastic. It's so energetic and light. I just enjoy the things that he creates, and I hope for the best for him, because it feels like when he really has the ability to create what he wants, he truly has it at hand. Like Kojima, Mikami, all of the great creators who have to leave behind their well-made creations because somebody else has to come along and fuck up their entire process aggravates me. It really just drives the point home that sometimes the companies just shouldn't get involved in wrecking the entirety of what somebody has put their time and heart into. It's just, honestly, it's really sad sometimes. But that's okay. I hope for the best for him in the future. If he creates a new studio, awesome. Let's see. Dark Tide's first major patch fixes everything wrong with its loot. Kind of. I haven't played it yet. I might play it later today. Who knows? We might get another Dark Tide stream later. Warhammer 40k Dark Tide is a co-op shooter with explosive visceral combat, blah blah blah. Let's see. Enter patch 4, Blessing of the Omnitia. This patch has tons of small features and changes, and it also tackles the loot issue and provides some crafting systems. There are now war gear sets, which allow players to save 5 loadouts of customized weapons, curios, and talents. The Armor Exchange also now has a new tab, Brunt's Armory, which allows players to purchase any weapon available to them. This means you don't have to wait for random chance pleading that a chain axe or a bolter shows up in the Armor Exchange listing. You can now purchase a low-level weapon and simply update it to your liking. Sir Melk's Questium, the weekly quest contract hub, is now much more forgiving. All contracts require less work and give more currency. The worst contracts, which require completing side objectives on special mission loadouts, have been removed, thank God. God, that was such a terrible system. It would just force you to play some missions that you definitely didn't want to do. And honestly, nobody wants to do that. Nobody. Let's see. As you may have guessed from the patch name, the Shrine of Omnitia with Hadron has seen the great amount of change. Players can extract blessings from weapons as permanent applicable buff, allowing them to take a fantastic bonus from a weapon not to their liking and apply it to something new. Blessings are shared between all characters on your account. That's fantastic. As the cherry on top, the Emperor's Gift, a random item reward, is now granted after every successful mission. Thank God, higher difficulty levels or additional map conditions are more likely to grant higher quality items. Thank God. Developer Fat Shark halted new cosmetic items and a port to the Xbox in order to solve launch issues and stability. Patch 4 is a big step in the right direction, addressing players' complaints and removing many of the frustrating random elements. Yes. This was the main problem. After you got to level 30, the basic thing you're waiting on is more gear that is better. And you couldn't do it. There was no way. It just sucked. And now it's so much better. I'm hoping that later on you can re-roll everything on a gun. Like you can pay extra to unlock things again and stuff like that. I would just like them to do a little bit better as it goes on. Like a little bit more gun customization, because eventually everybody's going to want to min-max their guns and stuff. It's just a matter of time, and this system makes it a little bit easier, which we appreciate. Apparently, you're getting a ton of more resources in the game as well, so I look forward to playing later to see what sort of benefits you get. Let's see. I made the perfect PC battle station in this game setup sim. Finally, a monitor my cat won't try to destroy. Some games are massive, trying to cover an entire world, or city or world. Others are nice and small, like my dream setup. This game is about a very special fantasy, having a sick gaming battle station with an unlimited budget and an eye for aesthetic. My dream setup is like a sim game, but only the build mode, and only for offices and other gaming rooms. This is a pretty simple concept, but my dream setup executes it well. There's a smorgasbord of options to choose from. The player can pick their favorite computer, towers, monitors, gaming chairs, and desks. Other building sims try to give enough to make kitchens, bathrooms, and other rooms in a home that provide utility. My dream setup focuses exclusively on battle stations and the room around them. That might be a cozy bedroom with a gaming setup in the corner, or a gaming room that would cost thousands of dollars to set up in real life. And apparently it's on sale. A $6, it's a fun toy. So the reason why I wanted to look over this game actually is because it looks cool, but I also like design. I spent a couple of years in actual interior design in school and exterior design. I could probably like rough build a house if I wanted to, but that would just be a time sink and I don't want to do that. But I could probably do a stream where I would do like my dream house and then start planning out the details, make the markers and everything. Maybe later on. But I always want to get like a program that I can do the accurate measurements of the room and then I can plan around it. Because if I ever want to design furniture or everything, I want a nice program, and I haven't actually gone looking for a new one in a while. And I don't know if this would be the solution, but I just want to have the thought of just like, maybe I should actually get back into interior design, because I want to build special cabinets, stuff like that, actual stuff that I can use for around here to make it more homely and stuff. And if I ever move my streaming setup or anything somewhere else, I'll be in good faith about planning out the space and knowing exactly what I have to work with. But I think this looks really cool in case you ever wanted to actually plan out the space that you're currently in. My space is kind of weird the way it is. Depending on how this eventually goes down the future, I might be building the PC out of this desk and somewhere else. I don't know yet. That's what I'm trying to decide on. And if I want to keep this desk or if I want to get a different desk, I don't know. Because I like the PCs being inside of it. It's just like, yeah. Like, playing games and stuff on the monitors and everything, I'd appreciate it if I could move the monitors closer and everything, like if they were on the actual desk. But eventually, when you're tip-tapping and everything, you can sometimes cause shakiness, like if I accidentally pound or wiggle the desk too much, so I don't know. But I've just been planning on what I would want to do if I ever could create my dream game space, and with this, I could probably make a rough estimate of it, and I think that would be cool. Valve sets a trap to catch and ban 40,000 Dota 2 cheaters. That is fantastic. I have never seen this before, but they had actually installed a honeypot into their game. So the way cheating works is that they usually exploit code deep within the game, and then it just looks for those values and then broadcasts it to you, like removing fog or anything like that. So their entire goal was that they created this honeypot, and the way this would work is that any cheating software that was just looking through all the code would find it, but the regular gamers couldn't. Like a regular person would never be able to find any of this stuff, but the people who were cheating could. And so they banned everybody who could. And that is fantastic. The wherewithal to actually create a thing that can't be seen by the naked code. And it was embedded in there. So you would just trigger it on accident and just get booted. Fantastic. I like the way that we're coming up with new ways to solve cheating. Because honestly, at the end of the day, the thing we're actually looking for is just everything going to console again. In which we can say PC's better all the time, but there's so many different variables. It causes problems for a ton of different games. Sometimes you just want to sit down in front of something, put in a game, and it just work. And that's what you do with consoles. That's the easiest straight benefit of consoles all the time. And that's why sometimes to solve cheating, you just gotta... Not today. Alright. So, yeah. I just think sometimes console gaming's better because you can have the built-in security systems built straight in, so it's a lot easier to tell if somebody's trying to hack or anything. But I get it. Let's see. Yes, what happened with Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard? Microsoft used every means at this disposal on Tuesday, February 21st, to push its acquisition of Activision Blizzard forward. It announced it had signed a deal with Nvidia to make Xbox PC games, including Activision Blizzard titles like Call of Duty, available on the GeForce Now cloud gaming service. A direct rival to its own Xbox cloud gaming, this is the first step Microsoft has taken to calm regulators concerned about it establishing a stranglehold over the cloud gaming market, as opposed to the availability Call of Duty on rival consoles. Microsoft also attended a meeting in European Union regulators in Brussels, Belgium, at which competitors, including Sony, were present. Media were then summoned to a press conference where Microsoft Vice Chair and President Brad Smith passionately made the case for the deal. You can get a good sense of this event from Eurogamer Report. Smith rammed how Sony's dominance in the console market, characterizing the split in global market share between PlayStation and Xbox as 70-30. At one point, Smith theoretically produced an envelope which he said contained the 10-year contract similar to Nintendo's, see below, that has been offered to Sony. I'm ready to sign it at any time, Smith said in a direct challenge to PlayStation boss Jim Ryan, and an invitation to regulators to see Microsoft's openness and flexibility. Though he did draw the line at the UK's regulators, suggesting that the Call of Duty business be sold off. The substance of the actual meeting at which Ryan was present, as well as Xbox boss Phil Spencer and Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick, remain private. But all sources indicate that Ryan is unmoved and Sony remains committed to its attempt to block the deal outright. At the press conference, Smith pointed out Microsoft's long experience in getting deals like this done. It seems Sony is willing to test that to the limit. Microsoft finalized this deal to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo for 10 years. Has confirmed has signed a binding 10-year legal agreement to put Call of Duty on Nintendo platforms on the same day as Xbox. Fair. War of words gets uglier as Sony accuses Microsoft of harassment and Activision accuses Sony of sabotage. Honestly, this entire thing is just like everybody just being absolutely terrible. It's actually baffling to see how bad everybody at each of these companies is being towards each other. Like, nothing should really be limited, honestly, exclusive. eventually over time it would be nice to have things available to other console users after a year or stuff. But if you're not going to make a strong enough console to run things, we shouldn't have to cater to you. I'm just saying, like, this entire deal, whether it falls apart or not, is probably still going to go through. Bobby Kotick's still going to work there. Bethesda or Blizzard's still going to be a shitty company. It's all still going to go downhill. So let's just forget about them. Except for we can't, because apparently they were ranked and stuff. Apparently there was an entire system created where no matter what, you had to rank some of your employees as improving. So like everybody else would get bonuses and stuff, but like certain people would be marked as need improvement, so they wouldn't get the bonuses that they deserve, even though they were doing just fine. It just all is terrible. All right, we have a couple more, and then we will be done. Sons of the Forest starts off with a disaster, but not always the same kind. Apparently, Sons of the Forest, I really want to play it. I'm probably going to be starting up a Forest playthrough soon. Just the original, and then hopefully over the course of the episodes, we will be able to fundraise or whatever enough money to get the next one. But, Sons of the Forest, apparently, at the beginning of each of it, it allows you to basically just, wherever the helicopter lands, it's different every time. And you can have a different experience every time where it lands, whether it be in the water, on the mountains, in the trees. It's all crazy. And I'm just so impressed with the amount of detail they're putting into this. I understand why they brought it into beta, into early access, just so they could get people's, the best thing you can do as an indie company is get people's feedback with how it is, especially if it's along far enough, and then be like, here's where we're taking it, here's some of the changes, what do you think? The best thing you can do is ask the community for feedback. It may not be a finished game on release, but not everybody wants that. Some people want to enjoy and take part in the actual experience. I remember helping very vividly with Subnautica when it was coming in, going to the Trello, complaining about things, asking about solutions for stuff. It was so much fun helping the actual development of the game, and then going along to see the final story come together. Let's see. Halo Infinite Season 3 is gonna bring everyone back to Halo Infinite. I don't believe that. At the best, Halo Infinite plays on the planet flock to North Carolina to fight over $250,000. Developer 343 Industries drops something for the rest of us, a trailer for the multiplayer shooter season the new season 3. Halo Infinite's third season, titled Echoes Within, has been a long time coming, initially planned for the release last fall on Xbox and Windows PC. But they just didn't do it. Let's see. Sort of content deluge that typically defines full seasons. Halo Infinite seasons typically have a 100-level battle pass replete with cosmetics. The winter update includes 30 levels. Echoes Within will add a new rifle. It's just laughable. I don't think the jokes about them getting out of the development of Halo and that it was going to be moved to a different team were jokeable, were laughable, because they panicked and they immediately came out to address it. Like, we'll always be working on Halo. We're always going to be the ones working on it, which means that they know that they're messing up in some way, shape, or form right now. So it's not baffling for me to see them like this. Like, guys, we have a cool update releasing, but is it? It's just adding a couple of things. Like, they've dropped off so much. Even the 250,000 is like, sure, cool. Let's see how other people actually do it. Capcom announces more than a $2 million prize pool for upcoming Pro Tour. Street Fighter 6 to be the exclusive game. Holy shit. Everybody is coming out of the woodwork now to play fucking Street Fighter 6. Because even if you're top one in your fighting game, and you can get top 10, top 8 in the regular competition, that is still a massive amount of money. There is $1 million going to the first person, and I believe 2 through 7 or 2 through 8 is being divvied up by 1.2 million, which means holy shit, that is impressive. Damn. The last person is walking away with a new car in money. Like, it's impressive what they're doing. I applaud them to stepping in and being like, this is it. We're releasing big prize pool money now. We're doing league sort of stuff. Esports is actually becoming $1 million entertainment market, and that is fantastic. That means streamers are going to have something to keep themselves into, to keep everything going. That's what you look forward to. With that, we also have VR. Apparently there's VR arcade machines that are getting introduced. I don't know how well it's going to work, because some of it definitely has to be probably disorienting. Like, you get a spin kick thrown at you, you might get whiplash from like thinking you just got actually kicked. It is, I don't know how well it's going to do. But I hope for good things to come out of it. A VR fighting game would be a lot of fun, but the main problem with VR is the mobility aspects. That's the main problem we have with VR, is that we can't move like we can in video games. Titanfall Apex Legends veterans form new studio, Wildlight Entertainment, has been quietly working on a new IP for some time. So, a bunch of veterans from Titanfall, who probably have been working on Titanfall for a long time after the acquisition, have, after their project got canceled, left. And now they're making a single-player adventure. So we can all assume that they're going to... I don't need them to make something Titanfall-esque. But if they're working on that, oh, I'll love it. I'll love it to death. Because honestly, it sounds like they got removed from the project that they really wanted to do, and then they were just like, fuck it, we're just leaving. And I feel bad for people like that. It sucks that you get kicked out of your work because of bad business decisions on the part of the company. Honestly, good for them. I'm hoping for the best for them. Recent chapters of the new Shonen Jump series Cypher Academy proved so difficult to translate that the translator outright quits. Sorry peeps, chapter 13 will be my last. Damn. I think it's funny. The main problem we have with manga and anime is that sometimes Japanese is difficult to go to English, and English is sometimes difficult to go to Japanese. We can blame each other for this fact. We both suck. But it's just funny to me when people just like... I'm happy that the translator was like, I got nothing, and then he just dips. That's so great. That's so perfect. That's hilarious. Like, it's... What do you say about it? Damn. And we already got confirmed during the PlayStation thing that Baldur's Gate 3 is coming to PlayStation. So yeah, I think we're it. I think we're good. We've been going for about an hour 30. I think that's a decent amount of time. I had a lot of fun. I hope everybody else had a lot of fun. But yeah, this week has been very entertaining with the news that has been coming out, the things that we had to talk about just in general. And I hope everybody looks forward to the podcast slowly over time getting added back to my channel. Before, there wasn't an actual podcast thing, so I'm happy there's an actual feature for it now. And it will now be here when I slowly upload it. I look forward to everybody's reactions. With that, I've been Fully Percival. Take care, and